Hey, it's Jason Michael here with the Crypto Guys. And in today's video, what's the worst case scenario for Bitcoin? What's our prediction? And where are we going to buy Bitcoin next? Also, why did President Biden give 1 week's warning on his executive order for investigating crypto? Because these are times when you can make a lot of money if you do it right. So make sure you watch this video until the end, because if you don't, you could end up losing a lot of money. And also like and subscribe. Michael, let's talk about Bitcoin. What's the worst case scenario here?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to know at this stage, is this going to happen? Right? Or is this the support right here, right? Like, are we going to support here or not? So I'm going to come back to that. I think those are good questions. So we're going to explain that in this video. Very important video today. Maybe one of the most important videos you could ever watch. So let's get started. So to understand what could happen with Bitcoin, we have to zoom out a little bit and realize that we are in a ascending pattern. So like we have support here, we have support there, and we have support here. So if we go down, chances are that we wouldn't go lower than this, about $35,000 level. And that's probably the very worst case that can happen looking at what's going on with Bitcoin. But here's the thing. That would not happen. Okay. We would not break this level here without a bad news. And what I mean by that is, yes, right now we have strong support at that level, but all it takes is one bad news to bring the price down.
Yeah. And let's talk about bad news for a moment, because as we mentioned in yesterday's video, President Biden released an announcement about an executive order. It wasn't an executive order. It was an announcement that he would give an executive order a week from now to investigate crypto, which is interesting because I don't know that that's very common that the president is going to make an announcement that they're going to make an executive order a week later. So, in talking about Biden, it's like, why would he do that? Why would he give everyone a week's heads up that he is going to begin investigating crypto? So thoughts on that?
All it takes is one more bad news and we could break like support, right?
For sure. Well, also in addition to bad news, like a whale could dump, and that's also bad news. And because of that, we could break support and go all the way down to 35 or lower.
That's exactly right. And the reason that all it takes is one bad news is because there's so much fear in the market. So let us share with you what the fear index is. So let's look at where the fear index is. Yesterday, I mentioned it could go down to 24, 25. And guess what? That's exactly where we are. We have a fear of 25. We are in extreme fear. And what does that mean exactly for everybody who wants to know what that means? Well, it means that if there's bad press release or Biden, next week tries to scare people, there could be a further dump, right? So where could the price go if there's some bad news that comes out in the press? And I'm going to tell you exactly that. So make sure to stick around so I could tell you the exact price. Also, this could mean another thing, right? Like many times in the past, when there was bad news, I bought Bitcoin and I was able to make a lot of money by buying into that extreme fear. But let's take a look at the worst case in case there's another bad news. So let me share this chart with you that if Bitcoin, right, was going to break this important support here, where would it go? And it would go probably down to that 35,500. That's the next level I would buy. Now, the reason is because, as I told you, we're on a macro level, we're on a uptrend for the Bitcoin. So every time that it crashed, yes, it's going a little bit higher each time. So we're looking for my next buy level of 35,500. And, so that's why I choose to be cash positive in case that, there is a bad news, because I don't control that, right? I'm pretty good at predicting price, but I don't control the bad news. So all it takes is one bad news to bring the price down, or a whale that sells, and we're going down to 35,000. So it's very important we understand that.
So one of the things, it's interesting you bring up being cash positive, and that's so important, especially in times like this or times where there's a lot of fear in the market. So two things, when being smart in your trading, when things are not looking great, you want to be cash positive so you have options so that you can buy in at different levels, right? Because if you've gone all in and then you have nothing left, you are just sitting, like you're just sitting there waiting, like you can't do anything. And that only makes fear worse for people. So that autonomy for people, that freedom is important that we're cash positive when there's high fear in the market. Also, it's the importance of holding. When you've bought higher and you're at a loss, at least an unrealized loss, you just got to be patient and you've got to hold. But I think, Michael, the question a lot of people are asking is, are we in a long-term bearish market?
That's a good question. I don't think we are. I think this is a temporary scenario. I do think that based on the research, in scenarios like this, they last about 3 months and then we start to go up again. Remember, this is all caused by inflation, right? So how is Bitcoin protecting people from inflation? So anyway, even if we are in a long-term bear-like market, we're still going to have a pump. It's always like that, right? It's just that we're not going to put new all-time highs. That's how we got to like measure this. But so far, if we look at Bitcoin, we have put all-time highs, right? Last time that it pumped, we got a higher high than the last time. You could see here, right? So people were saying, yeah, we're in a bear market now, but then it pumped again when we put a higher high. And so I think what I would look at is, are we getting lower lows? If we go below that 30,000, that it will be a definite sign of a bear market. Until that happens, if we're putting higher lows, which is what we're seeing here, so that 35,000 is critical level to determine if we're in a bear market or not. I would look at it like that. So it's very important to hold the 35,000 and the ascending support to confirm that we're still in a bull market right now.
And I want to bring up, I want to go back to inflation because you just brought this up, because this is important for you to understand. And this can help you be better at predicting longer term trends when it comes to Bitcoin. There's a relationship between inflation and the US dollar and Bitcoin. And that is probably one of the reasons why Biden gave the 1 week notice about Bitcoin. So, Michael, so few people understand this, but do you want to explain this for people?
Yeah, I would love to. Let me just go in that chart now. So this is the DXY chart, and it's telling you what the strength of the US dollar is. And what we've seen is that it's been going up, and it's actually up about 9.2% so far. And what we know is that when the DXY chart, the strength of the dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down, right? So this is what probably the US government wants. They want to strengthen the US dollar, right? Because of everything that's going on with inflation. What better way than to make some bad news about crypto, make the DXY strength of the dollar go up, make Bitcoin go down. So that's probably what they want, because what we know, when the DXY goes down, Bitcoin price strengthened, the price goes up, we get a pump, right? So that's what we would like to see. But all the government needs to do is create some fear in the market, right? And people dump Bitcoin, and where do they put their money? Well, they put their money in US dollar. US dollar goes up, same with the markets. So it's a very good way for the government to strengthen their US dollar, which is probably what they want to do right now, right? So that makes a lot of sense that they would do that. Now, just to be clear, what is my buy level? I'm going to tell you exactly what level of Bitcoin I'm going to buy in case bad news comes out and Bitcoin goes down. Where am I going to buy it? And of course, this is not financial advice, but for me personally, right now, I am cash positive. So if it was to go down, right, this would be the level I would go 70% all in of all my capital, which is about 35,777. Why I put 77? Maybe those are my lucky numbers. Okay. But that's the level I'm going to buy it. That's what I would recommend you do. But of course, this is not financial advice, but that's where I'm going, 70% of all my capital. And I'll keep just a little bit in case I'm wrong. And I always like to do that because, it could potentially go down, but I don't think so. I think this is a very strong support at this level right here. So that's what I would be doing.
Fantastic. So there's a lot going on. Obviously, continue to watch the markets. But remember, you can make money in any market, bearish market, bullish market. You just have to manage your risk, properly and understand what you're doing. And so that's what we try to do at this channel. We try to help you understand those trends. We try to educate you with even charts and how to read them. And so, hey, if you like this content, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and certainly leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. So on that note, Michael, good to see you again.
You too, James. I will see you
All right,
guys in the
everybody.
next video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and please put a like. Yeah.
Yes. Happy trading.
Bye for now.